Her brother says Dania also hoped the surgery would help her at work.
So when she was a waitress serving, she would always tell me like, Papa, all these girls have mini skirts and they're young. I want to compete with them for tips. I'm getting my surgeries.
For tips.
Just for tips.
As a doctor, her grandfather Marcio knew the risks of surgery and was opposed to Dania having the procedure, so she kept it from him.
You would have stopped her?
Oh, immediately. No question about it.
On the morning of May 10th, 2019, Dania arrived for her BBL at Mia Aesthetics. She sent her family this photo before her surgery. It was the last image of her alive.
What is up, guys? Welcome to another video. In this video, we're going to break down a little bit the BBL controversy. Now, I have to be honest with you guys. I know a little bit of the procedure when it comes to BBL. Yeah, I tried operating on some women myself. No, I've just heard about it, but I don't really know what it is.
Women wants to be, they want to be fuller at the top, smaller in the waist, and then they want to come out in the hips like a hourglass or a Coca-Cola bottle.
Is this what you would consider to be like an ideal body image?
Yeah. I wanted more of a slimmer waistline and a more of a bubble-shaped butt.
What's happening with the BBL?
It's been touted as the most dangerous cosmetic surgery because there was a study many years ago that found a 1 in 3,000 mortality rate from this operation. The key with the Brazilian butt lift, though, is doctors were injecting fat into the muscle of the buttocks. And the reason why they did that is because whenever you inject fat, the fat needs to get blood supply for it to heal into its new location. And so what has a lot of blood supply are muscles. And so the idea is like, oh, then I'll just inject fat into these muscles. The fat will stay, the muscles will look bigger, and now you've got a much nicer looking butt. The problem with the butt is that the butt also has some of the largest blood vessels in the body. And so if you inject fat into these muscles, the fat can enter the bloodstream. That fat, if it gets into your bloodstream, it can go to your heart and lungs, and you can die almost instantly. And that is the death of BBL.
Getting a BBL ruined my life. So I was a teenager in the 2010s when Instagram was new and like the it girls were Instagram models, and all these girls started getting BBLs. The bigger your ass was, the more successful you were gonna be. I saw Kylie Jenner do it and I was like, oh my god, I need that. And I grew up watching like Kim K's butt like triple in size every year, and I was like, I need to be her. All the men want her. The reason I'm not getting a boyfriend is because I don't have her butt. So when I got my money up in the 2020s, I spent $15,000 on a new ass, not realizing it was about to be my downfall.
Girl, the way that I knew in this very moment that Kim K was a master manipulator, because Kimmy, in what world would an X-ray be able to differentiate and tell the world whether or not this was natural fat in your butt or the fat that you transferred to your butt? She really thinks we are stupid, because this was nuts. Also, this was like 3 butts ago. Like, I don't think anyone ever thought she had butt implants. We always knew it was a BBL. She was not the first person with a BBL. BBLs have been around since the 1960s. What was this supposed to prove exactly? Except that she's really good at playing the media.
Kim's butt looks a lot smaller. People are saying maybe she got some liposuction.
Let's take a closer look, you guys. I think that something definitely happened for her buttocks because they were not like that before. She is a good-looking woman, and she didn't lose that much weight because you can tell by her arms and the rest of her body that it wasn't an overall dramatic weight loss, that she possibly had a reduction of her backside. And I don't blame her. It was kind of big, you guys. I love good booties, but that was just out of control.
BBLs were straight up a trend. My life completely fell apart after I got one. First of all, I only fit in Fashion Nova. I could not fit in any nice, expensive clothes. Designer clothes, Aritzia, all the cute, clean girl clothes. They're meant for skinny girls. I could not get my butt into a pair of jeans for 2 years. I gained 30 pounds after my BBL. I was the heaviest I've ever been in my life. Because when you get a BBL, you can't gain like stomach fat anymore. And I didn't even realize I was gaining weight because it was all going to my butt. And then I woke up one day morbidly obese. I think what made me realize was my face got so fat. But that's not even the worst part. The way men treated me was so horrifying. I only attracted the broke, drug addicted, abusive, losers.
If you think of it like, why? So you can attract more guys so you can get that attention? The dopamine, that's it. You can feel attractive inside. Get all of this fake shit in your body and then you feel better about yourself. We can sit here and we can talk about this, right? But I've never seen guys do this. Oh, a guy got a BBL. Bruh, if you're a guy, women just laugh at you for the guy that you are. And the crazy part is like, we have pure self-confidence. We do. Because at the end of the day, bruh, going through all of this procedures, you're putting on makeup, you're doing so many things just to get the man's attention. Because she did not do that for herself. Who gets a BBL for herself?
I had homeless people catcalling me and chasing me around. I would not get respect when I would walk into like Saks Fifth Avenue or designer store. Before I got like all my work done, people used to tell me I was pretty. My Uber driver would say, "Oh, you're so pretty." Random girls would tell me I was pretty. That completely stopped. It all stopped. And I got so depressed. I realized something had to change.
I remember waking up, I was shaking like a leaf and I was just so grateful to be alive. In reflection, you should never, this is coming from someone who's been so silly. It's not that I regret it, but the risks of doing a surgery like that, it's not worth your life. But that's how low that I actually was in that moment of time. But I would like to say I didn't have a bad experience with the BBL that I got. Like, everything went fine. The surgeon done what I asked for. Like, everything, I couldn't have asked for anything more. It went fine.
If you go on social media, who do people like get more likes? Jennifer Lopez, Beyonce, Nicki Minaj, Cardi B. We started looking at perfect bodies. We knew what, people like and how to get people's attention. And it was time to go in under the knife.
But it's constant, this like brainwashing on social media, everywhere, where it's just like, you gotta be better, you gotta be more desired, you gotta be more desired. And the women which do actually get a dose of that, a dose of being the famous person, the person that everyone desires, they can't let that go. Because I think a woman, the crazy part about this is like from I'd say 14 up to at least 30. Guys are interested. She feels like she's on top of the world. But then when she hits her 30s, going to 40, the guys stop. And then they start texting younger. And instead of her saying like, hey, okay, let me look at the guys which are in my age range. Let me try to better myself. Let me go to the gym. Like, nah, let me just cheat. Let me just cheat, sign a contract. Somebody can put some fat in my ass and then I'll trick everybody.
No lies were told. It is 10 out of 10. The worst pain. It feels like you got hit by a Mack truck. I don't take prescription drugs. I don't like it. So I took it for the first 48 hours. And then after the nurse came to see us and examined our body, I refused to take any more meds. So it was unbelievably painful, especially the plane ride home. Then I kept asking Dr. Miami's team, like, okay, what do we do back home? Like, do we get post-care? Like, is there massages we need to do? So forth and so on. And they kept insisting we don't need to do anything. And I wholeheartedly, to this day, believe that because they didn't guide me and my sister into getting post-care, to getting massages and telling us what to do, that is why I was so botched. And 2 years later, I had to go get another surgery to lipo my butt and hips to match body. And they don't tell you that if you don't have a good diet, if you're not exercising consistently and you eat like after you do the surgery, the fat is just going to go somewhere else. And it's going to be places that you're like, and then you're going to want to go get more lipo. And lipo is painful. Like, who wants to keep doing that their whole entire life? I know I don't. And there's so many people that have people on the table that are changing their names, their businesses, and you can't find the reviews of them killing people unless you really do heavy research. I got scouted because I was trying to fix my body, and some place in Florida was trying to do it, and then I did some research, and after thoroughly doing my research, because I didn't with Dr. Miami, I realized that they had a different name a year before and had people on the table. And I was like, you got me entirely The doctor was not even licensed properly. So if you're trying to do this shit for real, you need to do your research. I cannot stress that enough. This surgery, BBLs, are so fucking dangerous. It is not talked about enough. And at the end of the day, is it really worth it? Like, look yourself in the mirror and be like, is this something I really want to do? Because at the end of the day, like she said in this video, some days you'll really love your body, and then other days it's like you don't even recognize yourself. So I think the first thing anyone should do is try to really value the body that they have naturally.
The doctor, he also took out my tubes, so you guys would have seen like my little like blood bags that I had to carry around with me. And I kid you not, when the doctor took those out, like, I can't even begin to explain the excruciating pain. It was so sore. But you guys, I'm so happy with it. Like, you can't really see with, you know, like this on, but I have hips now. Like, legit hips.
And basically what I am going through right about now still is the sweating phase. So I get really hot, I get really sweaty 24/7. I hate that. So I take about 4 showers a day. I cannot stand this phase. This phase will make me want to say second round. But yeah, other than that, the body is bodying. And I'm feeling great. I still have soreness in my back. I do have increased heart rate, but I'm taking some iron pills because I was thinking it's something to do with my iron.
I personally would love for everybody in the world to just be really happy in their own body. But from personal experience, I understand that you can get to points where you are just so, like, for me, it's not social media, it's not, I just have struggled ever since I can remember with weight and things like that. But I would say coming away from it, even though I didn't have a bad experience, it's not worth your life.